It was the Halaku Khan who was the extremist, who came and destroyed the great library of Baghdad and who destroyed all the great teaching and learning and all the repository of intellectual wealth that was in Baghdad. So he was the equivalent of the Taliban of that time. Halaku Khan was the Taliban of that time. And these were the great Muslim rulers of that time, the center of the whole universe. So Islam has never been historically, and if you follow the life of the Prophet, never was there any mention anything else but peace and tolerance and love of humanity. So I don't consider that either we are of that, nor do we have a cultural background. We are the sons and daughters of the mighty Indus. We have a history of thousands and thousands of years. We have a history of culture. We are the land of Faiz, Iqbal, Faraz, so many great poets, writers, thinkers, and Islam was spread by the scholars, by the Sufis, by the saints. It was not spread by the talwar or by the suicide bombers or by the killers. None of them have spread Islam. So as far as our history is concerned, as far as the history of Islam is concerned, we are a nation and a country and a culture of hope and peace. If I look at what we have seen and the kind of terrorist armies that are attacking our Pakistanis, I cannot understand what is Islamic about them. There is nothing Islamic about them. There is nothing in their agenda, nor is there anything that appeals, nor are they giving you some economic hope, nor are they telling you of how they're going to sustain what they're trying to do. This is not some nationalist struggle telling you about a better life. This is a armed collection of terrorists funded by drugs, extortion and murder who are out to destroy this country. This is not like compare it to the Cuban nationalist struggle against imperial occupation or against any other imperial occupation. We are not an occupied country. We are a free country. We are a country today which is an example for the rest of the Islamic world. The kind of tolerance, political tolerance in Pakistan today doesn't exist in any other Muslim country or any other third world country. If you look at Pakistan since 2 years, 2 years ago was when General Musharraf took off his uniform. And after that, there was the assassination of Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto, which is one of the worst disasters that ever took place in Pakistan's history. After that, we had an election on the February the 18th. And the people of Pakistan still participated in the election, despite what had happened. And we got a mixed mandate and we put together coalition governments. There is democracy in every province, the press is free, there are no political prisoners in Pakistan, no religious segment in Pakistan is being arrested or persecuted or hounded. We have got a right to assembly, right to debate, all the parties are participants. That's why at the APC, All Pakistan Conference, party conference that took place 4 or 5 months ago, all the political parties joined in and condemned the terrorists and supported the army action. So the entire political process of Pakistan is standing together against these terrorists. It's not as if the country is divided. And I think that is a great sign of hope for the democracy of Pakistan. That what a democratic government in Pakistan has been able to accomplish in Waziristan and Swat, a quasi-military government could not accomplish before that. So, a democratic government in Pakistan has got together, brought all the political forces together in an atmosphere of tolerance. I am not saying there are no political differences. There have to be political differences, otherwise you can't be different political parties. But they are all together. They are standing against terrorism. There is no popular support in Punjab. There are 372 members of the Punjab Assembly. Not even one of them, there are 2 who come from religious parties, but they are tolerant and they are liberal Islamic parties. There is nobody representing extremism in Punjab. The elections took place, people voted. Gilgit and Baltistan, they were talking of the northern areas. Gilgit and Baltistan has the highest literacy rate in Pakistan. There the people got together, voted in the election. Nobody voted for extremists. Nobody even voted for religious, forget terrorists, religious, even people of extreme religious views. They voted for different political parties, all who are part of the political mainstream, and showed the whole world. There is all television exists there also. It's not some remote place where nobody has reached. If you go to Gilgit and Baltistan, there are all these channels I see in front of me, all of them are running there. People are all over Pakistan. They're from Karachi to Abu Dhabi to everywhere. They made a decision and they voted for whom they felt was going to be the best party for their future. So, where is all this extremism among the people of Pakistan? I don't think it exists. It is unfortunately being created as a kind of monster, to defame the people of Pakistan, or to create the kind of disharmony or pessimism which Brigadier Rana was talking about. And I think this is what gives me hope, that when I look around and I deal with hundreds and thousands of people every day from different segments of Pakistan and Punjab society, I don't see anybody there who has these kind of extremist and terrorist views. Yes, in countries like Colombia, now let me just take you a little back. There was Pablo Escobar's drug army. I don't know if you may not have heard of it, but he terrorized the people of Colombia. He had no religious views, he was not Islamic, but he was no different from these people, believe me. He was exactly the same. He was sustained by narco, drugs, terror, extortion, murder, and he tried to impose his view and impose his terrorism on the state. And he held Colombia hostage for years. He killed over 1,000 judges and 3,000 policemen. He killed the presidential candidate also in Colombia. But nobody said we're not going to Colombia, because there's a lot of terrorism there. You know that the whole eastern seaboard is India. In the states of Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Orissa, these three states, over 2,000 thanas, have no army, no state control in them. The Indian government's writ doesn't exist there. When you talk of terrorism and so on, in South Africa, where the World Cup is being held, there are 2,000 murders a month in South Africa. In El Paso, outside Mexico, is the biggest murder capital of the world, where the drugs come and they go through into America, where thousands of people are murdered a month because the drug armies are fighting each other. So these people are nothing else but a drug army. They are fighting for control and trying to terrorize the population. We are all Muslims. 99% of Pakistan's population is Muslim. What do we need extremism for, or terrorism? You may come when you are faced with somebody who is your opponent or who is trying to destroy your way of life. There's nobody here who wants to destroy Islam or destroy religion. So what is the extremism for? Who are we extremist against? Each other? We want to destroy each other? Otherwise, there's no basis for this extremism. So, when I go back on this entire so many years, and I've seen the kind of propaganda that we've had to face, I felt, unfortunately, I think somebody touched on the media, Kamal Shah Saab touched on the media. I feel media plays a very important role. And I think what the media cannot do is glorify what these people are doing. I find when the media even goes and has this morbid interest in showing dead bodies and showing people who have been blown up or killed by the extremists,